Hey everyone, Jer here at Leeds United The View with the daily news for Friday, the 9th of September. And quite a bit floating around, and I wanted to update some people on a fantastic piece done by the Daily MOT on Twitter around where Leeds sit after 6 games. When we take all the emotion away from it and the drama, where do Leeds actually sit? So we're going to cover off that. There is some news around the games of the weekend. We're still waiting to hear whether the games of the weekend will go ahead or not. Some nominations for players of the month, and then some news on some players being linked with Leeds in the January or next summer's transfer window, which we'll cover at the end of it. This won't be that long. So to start off with the Daily MOT, this is a fantastic piece that was done on Twitter. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. And basically what they've done is they put together where Leeds stand based on our statistics for the season so far. And it makes really, really good reading. Obviously, Leeds are in a decent position in the league. The last month hasn't been the most chirpiest, given what's happened with the transfer window and two reasonably poor results. But at this point, we'll go through it, we'll talk about it. So we'll start off with the attacking side of it. Leeds currently are ranking 7th in terms of goals per matches in the entire table, which is great. They're averaging 1.7 goals per game. We are 7th in the league in regards to XG with a 9.7 so far, which is quite good. 6th in terms of big chances created with 11, but we're also 6th in terms of big chances missed with 10. We won't talk about Pat Bamford's. We won't. We'll keep moving. We're 5th in the league in terms of possession as well. There's some really good stats. From the defensive side of things, it's a mixed bag. And as the guys in Daily MOT have said, Diego Llorente screws the figures up slightly. So we'll talk about that. Leeds are 1st in the Premier League with the most successful tackles with 15 so far. They're 2nd in the table in possession stats, 1 in the opposition's half, which talks about Jesse Marsh's pressing style and trying to put pressure on the opposition to force mistakes early with 6.7 there. And we're 3rd in the table with interceptions. All really, really good. Then it starts to turn just a little bit, and I think we can all understand where this is going to go. We are 15th in the league in terms of conceding goals with 1.67 average goals per game against, which isn't great. 2nd in the table in terms of fouls, 7th in the table in terms of yellow cards, and 3rd in terms of penalties against us, and we are 15th for goals conceded in the table per match. So it's a mixed bag. You can see that, and we've talked about it over the last couple of weeks. From an attacking perspective, the Leeds team looks really, really, really good. But then when you separate that to a defensive side, there are some worrying traits there, and hopefully they're just individual people that can be fixed pretty easily. But we do leave ourselves prone to counterattacks and have done since the pre-season games against Brisbane, Villa and Palace. It was kind of evident then. So hopefully that stuff is getting addressed over the next couple of weeks, and we may be looking at a prolonged break possibly. Moving on to the 21's game, and that game has been postponed tonight as a mark of respect for the Queen's passing. That game will not go ahead. So moving on to the Forest game and talking about what's going to happen at the weekend with football in regards to this. There has been some guidance that's come out, and it says that there is no guidance that says that matches should be postponed on any day except the day of a state funeral. So if the league matches fell on the day of the state funeral, there will be an automatic suspension of all fixtures. The fact that they don't means there's a discussion around how they want to remember the Queen. There's a lot of different stuff floating around from different people recommending stuff, and I mean, people talking about having a packed Ellen Road with Nottingham Forest fans and Leeds fans singing your national anthem and wearing black armbands would be a fantastic tribute to the Queen. It would definitely be something that would look spectacular, and I think probably given what it is, it should be a celebration of life rather than a mourning of death and passing. So it'll be interesting to see what the Premier League decide. They are meeting currently. I was going to wait till that news came out, but I just don't know when it's going to come out. Jesse Marsh's press conference is also at 1:30 today, and I'm recording this pretty early, so it may get some more information around that. But moving on to the Forest game, Forest did add another player, their 22nd signing of the window, with free agent Serge Aurier, the former Tottenham Hotspur player, coming in and joining up with them. The 22 players signed on top of the squad they had last year. It's just, how do you keep all those players happy? You've just brought in 2 starting 11s on top of your team that got you there, and if that doesn't click, and I think we might be playing them at a good point where it hasn't clicked just yet. Moving on to some good news for Leeds, and Rodrigo has been nominated for the August Player of the Month, but he has got some impressive competition to deal with in this. He has Pascal Gross, Alfie Haaland, Gabriel Jesus, Martin Odegaard, Mitrovic, and Wilfred Zaha are all nominated for that award as well. In the Premier League 2 standings, their version of it, Sonny Perkins and Mateo Joseph, have both been nominated for their impressive starts to the under-21 season this year. So fingers crossed for everyone. You can go and vote for them. We're Leeds fans. It should just automatically happen, shouldn't it? We should all head over to Twitter, get the link, and vote for these players to win. It'd be great to see them get something. And then also the new award that's come in for Save of the Month, and Meslier has been nominated for that award for his save against Dendoncker against Wolves. So it'd be nice to see us win some awards, wouldn't it? Outside of Jesse not nominated for Manager of the Month. Last 2 games obviously didn't help his standing at all with that. And then moving on to some incomings and potential incomings before we wrap up today. Lewis Pirie from Aberdeen, a young player there, has been gathering a lot of interest from the Premier League. Leeds and Fulham are said to be looking at him, but also Nottingham Forest are in the mix as well. He is a very, very highly rated attacking prospect and has a lot of interest. Clubs may move for him sooner because of the interest that's in him. Clubs that may have looked at taking him next year, the year after, may move now in terms of buying him and maybe loaning him back or him going into the underage setup at Leeds. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with him. Kai Wagner, Coach Curtin at the Philadelphia Union, has said that he wanted the player to remain for the remainder of the MLS season. We've spoken about this at length, I think, at this stage. But what has come out is that they have had conversations with Orta and Marsh, and there was an agreement in place for him to stay there. So you could be looking at an expectation of Kai Wagner joining up with Leeds in January once that window opens and the World Cup is behind us. Also, players that have been linked this morning: Noah Okafor, the Red Bull Salzburg striker who has scored a stunning goal in the competition Champions League so far this year, has been linked with Leeds as well. Could this be a replacement for the Gakpo mover? As we found out this week, it's Cody Hakpo, not Gakpo, Hakpo. So thanks to Square Ball for clarifying that one up. Could this be a player that comes in to replace Hakpo, because it's just probably not going to happen for Leeds at that point in January. So it's going to be another one. I have my feelings on January. I've said I don't think we'll make any major moves in January. I think it'll be a case of bringing in maybe Kai Wagner. I think maybe a centre-back. I've been saying it since before the season that we need a centre-back for Llorente, but maybe Stroke just steps in there. So that's it, folks. Thanks for stopping by, and I will see you tomorrow with the news. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we have some updates on whether the game will go ahead at that stage. So see you tomorrow. Bye.